What are some good internet rabbit holes to fall into during this time of quarantine? You could always have a go at the internet's hardest puzzle, not prun. It's been online since 2004, but only 67 people have made it through all 140 levels. I've been playing since 2007, I'm in the 70s now. I started the first puzzle and was confused if I was about to do some horror type thing. The music and atmosphere is scary. Is this a horror website? I've been down a rabbit hole to make sourdough bread. I'm fascinated now. I didn't realize how the process works. I saw some lady who's been using the same starter since the 1970s and she got hers from a woman who used hers for the last 100 years. Edit. Heck, this thing really blew up. People are asking for links. As I am sure there are thousands. This was what a friend shared with me that started me into this now black hole. Seems like a good lad making bread. Worked at a bakery once and a kid accidentally threw out the starter and cleaned the container. It was brought from Europe by the owner's father. It was bad. I'm in Wuhan, and I started running out of yeast really early in our lockdown, so I made a sourdough starter. Mine doesn't taste very sour, more like super slow rising yeast with a bit more character, but it was a fun project and I prefer bread made with my starter to using the commercial yeast I've since gotten, though the commercial stuff is necessary if I need a quick rise. My 90s TV. This is a fun, novelty website where you can easily lose yourself for hours with nostalgia. Basically it uses YouTube videos to simulate watching TV in 90s and allows you to specify the year you want, along with what categories you want to see when you change channels. There is also a My 80s TV and a My 70s TV. The Rotten Library. Rotten.com library has an archive of essentially a pre-Wikipedia with handwritten articles on weird stuff, cults, murders, etc. It's cross-linked so it's easy to get lost. It's a relic of when the web was just scattered information with no real way to find it. The Rotten Library was my teenage introduction to so many oddities that today get reposted on Reddit every few months. Edit. Found a mirror. Rotten Library mirror. On YouTube, I have been viewing this channel named Horror Stories. It's a collection of short but brief real-life horror stories of people who died in the most horrible, unimaginable, and unsuspecting way. No clickbaits, on-point storytelling. On Twitter in early 2000s, someone began posting on several message boards claiming to be a military time traveler from the year 2036. He arrived in 2000 on a stopover for personal reasons. His primary mission was to return to 1975 to recover an IBM 5100 computer which was needed to debug huge computer issues that would arise in his original time. Some have disregarded this as an elaborate hoax. The rubbies. There is an anticipated Y2K style computer frying event. Look up Unix 2038 problem. And only like 5 people in the world knew the IBM 5100 debugging programming existed, which was later confirmed to be true by someone involved with the project. His stories contained predictions from his timeline, time travel theory, physics of his machine, and even schematics of the time travel device. All his posts are archived. Enjoy your trip down the rabbit hole. Maybe you could find out what's on the second page of Google. A few years ago I couldn't sleep and fell into an oyster shucking rabbit hole, and it was a live stream of this lady shucking 4 pearls with different colors, kinda like an unboxing video, but I needed to know what kind of pearls would emerge. OMG pearl parties, I've been there too. The Facebook live streams are too good, haha. Did you know that we are actually a hybrid slave race forged by aliens to mine precious metals to repair the atmosphere of their home planet, and the Great Flood was them trying to wash us off the planet because they starting falling in love with us? Truth story. Now you don't have to watch weeks of movies about the Anunnaki. My ex started going on about Anunnaki after a mental breakdown and became obsessed with conspiracy theories. If I have to hear the words Anunnaki or dimensions one more time, I fear my brain might literally melt out of my skull just to avoid the conversation. I don't remember where I got this from, but there's a little game you can do on Wikipedia. So you pick 2 completely random topics, and they have to be unrelated. Then you pick one of the topics and go to that wiki page. On that wiki page, you have to find links that will lead you to other wiki articles. You continue on that cycle until you end up with the other topic you chose. Not only are you passing time, but you're also learning about new things. Read up about the Nazis that escaped to Argentina at the end of WW2. To this day there are multiple all-German communities in South America, all descendants of the Nazis. And they don't exactly denounce what their grandparents did. Don't know how to timestamp, but Tim Kennedy has a show called Finding Hitler where they explored these communities and he talks about it here on Joe Organ's podcast. Pretty wild edit. It's around 49:40 in the video that the convo starts. Pedagogue. Do some digging and you'll see that all the crazy conspiracy theorists who have been calling the elites satanic pedophiles have been right all along. Satanic? They are not satanic, dude. They are billionaires and politicians who fuck kids because they are a bunch of out of control, overstimulated hedonists who have built their wealth on the exploitation and outright slavery and murder of hundreds of millions of people. They have no limits, morally or legally. If rape is about power, then it's clear that they're just addicted to power. Their place in society warps them into absolute monsters. This isn't new information, this is as old as class war. Little Sis, https://littlessis.org/. It's a database that creates a profile of politicians, those in power and all of their various affiliations. Pretty easy to dive in and find some rather unsettling connections. Check out Missing 411. It's a research of missing people and how the government covers up thousands of people disappear in national parks in strange ways, like a 4-year-old child in the middle of line of people just vanishing and being found something like 3-5 miles away the next day in a cliff they couldn't climb to, or other places. Missing shoes, cell phones ping on many cell towers at the same time in the area, scent dogs stop and loose scent in strange ways in some areas, etc.